Yes, sir. We are here, episode 50, the Best of Rivals podcast. I'm Jordan J. Will. I got my boy D Bev in the building. What's good, bro?
It's all good. All good. Episode 50. Big episode 50. Milestone.
Yes, sir.
Achievements. We've unlocked,
Ooh,
you know,
5-0. That's
it's
a
big.
different number right there.
It's different. It does hit different. But, 50 down, 50 more to go, at least, right?
Yeah, hey, man, keep going, just the beginning. I
Yes,
can't
sir.
wait till we reach, the hundreds and thousands. Who
Yeah,
knows?
imagine.
But,
Episode 1,000.
um,
That'd be nuts.
but yeah, bro, just keep going, firing at it. I do want to ask you, enough with all the happiness. You're kind of sad, right? Dropping points against Everton.
Yeah, very, very
What
disappointing.
the hell?
Very, very disappointing. I mean, the reality is we were destroying Everton as usual. Don't do that. We were destroying Everton. We had all the possession, bunch of
Yeah,
shots, but what I like to say is shots are cool, right? It's like 16 shots to I think they're one or something like that.
yeah.
Um, what really matters in football, and like I can tell by a stat sheet, like where the game's going, is shots on target. Shots on target are everything, bro. If you're not testing the goalkeeper 5, 6, 7 times a game, you don't deserve to guarantee yourself a win. So just because we all the City fans are overreacting, right? Like we played well, bro. Like Grealish sure didn't have a good game. Bernardo Silva didn't really have a good game, but for the most part, bro, we played well. I'll say it right now, De Bruyne was terrible. That's the worst I've ever seen him play. He was terrible, bro. Like he looked like 20 pounds overweight. He missed every pass, but generally speaking, we were still pretty good. It's just, when you have 3 shots on target and they have 1 shot on target and their 1 shot on target is a wonder goal, again, do we really deserve to win that game? So yeah, it's drop points for sure. For sure. Very, very disappointing.
I mean, do you think a large part of it has to do with the fact that you guys haven't been in this position before? Typically it's Man City
No,
in the front seat, the driver's seat, leading the charge for the title. Now you're chasing Arsenal right now, and they
no.
don't seem like they're slowing down at all. So
Yeah.
I feel like City's a little uncomfortable. And we know Pep. I talk about this a lot with him. I respect him. I wish he was my manager. Psych. And Ten Hag, we trust. He thought you had me. But no, I respect Pep, but he's always, I think, like, to me, his biggest flaw is just he cracks sometimes, despite the greatness and you know the masterclass that Pep's he puts out. He struggles a lot. So I think that the pressure may be getting to him, bro. Holland's banging in goals to start the season, and that sets like a standard. That City should be killing, and he's still scoring goals, but like it's like Arsenal's still there too. They're not losing.
Yeah. No,
This is my
well,
thoughts on it.
there's two things, right? I mean, the first thing is we actually have been in this position, right? We were chasing Liverpool, I think 2 years ago.
Okay.
Um, and around this time, December, um, yeah, we were down a few points for sure, and we came back, and we got them at the end. So I'm not too worried about this. I really do think, and I said last podcast that I think we're just going to start smoking teams. And again, we had we dominated. We should have won the game. But then we get to the point of Pep, right? And you know how I feel about him. I think there's a lot of greats and there's some not so great, bro. And it's unjustifiable that you sub on Foden and the boys in the 87th minute. Now I get it. We had 11 minutes of extra time, and that was because of a VAR referee
Right.
issue that stalled the game. But
Let
you're talking about 15 minutes of play for Phil Foden. Yet Jack Grealish is playing 90 minutes. It makes zero sense. And he's always had issue with subs, but this is kind of what I'm talking about, bro. There's a there's a cockiness and an arrogance to him that I just really don't like. Maybe it's overthinking, whatever it is. Sometimes you just gotta play it simple, bro. Like after 65 minutes, you see we're not dominating the game. Go play Foden. Start Foden. Like do anything. you know, Another one was Gundogan. The game prior against Leeds, literally one of the best performances I've seen him put on. Doesn't start this game. it just it's just a lot of stuff, bro. A lot of stuff with this manager that
Yeah, I
I don't
think
like.
like it's a good thing having a lot of great players, but it's also a bad thing. And I think we're seeing that right now with you. I wish I had that problem. You're complaining about players that should be playing, they're not playing because someone else is
Yeah,
just as good as them basically. Uh, Jack Grealish has had a very rocky start to his career with Man City. We all
yeah,
know that, right? I do think he is coming into his own a little bit, finding his way. Uh, I think his game is going to be more like dictating towards making plays for people and creating and
yeah.
less on scoring goals. I think that's just something he's establishing right now, um, which may, that may benefit City. But it's like you guys like have too many options, and I can't feel sorry for you.
You
Um,
shouldn't. And I, bro, and here's an interesting point. I don't feel sorry for Pep. This is
yeah.
why Pep's expectations are so high, and this is why I critique him so much. He has everything that he could possibly want. As a manager,
Let
he
me
has
let me ask
everything.
let me ask you this: say the next 2 to 3 games, you guys drop more points, or you lose a big game, right? And Arsenal still putting that distance between you two. Do you say, mm, bump the Premier League? We're gonna focus on the Champions League now.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I think there's going to be a point where we play Arsenal because
Yeah.
remember we have to play Arsenal twice because the whole delay, and I think the Queen's death, like we skipped that week or something.
Okay.
If we get a bad result against Arsenal, and like let's say Arsenal continue to, let's say they drop 2 points here, like nothing crazy.
Yeah.
If we play Arsenal and we lose, it's a I don't want to say it's essentially over because Arsenal is Arsenal. Like you said last season, they did end up choking top four. However, they don't have Jesus, and they look completely fine. They look completely fine, bro. That team is just
Speaking,
yeah,
of, well, we're here. Speaking of Arsenal, um, they are the team right now, and you brought up Jesus, him being hurt, and how I think we both said it last episode that's gonna hurt them, right?
yeah, thought so.
But I think there's a certain play over there that's not getting enough shouts, and he's balling. He's going crazy. And I said it earlier in the season too. It was kind of prematurely, but I said, do you think he needs some recognition as maybe the best player in the Premier League? I mean, we know that KDB, hands down, is probably it, right? Like we know.
Yeah,
But if we're going off of numbers, if my team's in first place and I need a key guy to create, and he's making those plays and those assists, and they're winning, they're the number one team in the world. Martin Odegaard, bro, he's doing it without Jesus, and he's been a kid since Madrid. The prodigy. We all knew
yeah,
of him. 15, 16 years old, balling out, and then he kind of disappeared for a little bit. Had to find his own.
yeah,
Looks like he's found a home with Arsenal.
yeah.
I think he's right on KDB's heels. Is probably the best player in the Premier League this season. I think
Yeah,
he's bro. You have to like. Let's be real. Who's winning, and who's a huge part of that? It's
you
Martin.
know, I mean, this is one of those things, bro, where this team is just this Arsenal team. Everybody chips in, bro. Everybody, like
Yeah, I agree.
that entire 11 chips in. So that's why a guy like Martin Odegaard won't get the praise or that maybe he deserves. I think he's like their top goal scorer. He's got he's probably got most of their assists as well. Like
Yeah,
there's good
because
and bad to his game, but like if you say okay Odegaard, but then you're like okay, what about Saka? And then you're like
that's
what
what
about
I was about to
Partey? And
say.
then
'Cause
you're
I
like
was
what
I
about
was thinking about
Saliba?
it. I was like, is Odegaard better than Saka? Because
No,
I think he's more
no.
pivotal to Arsenal than Saka. But I think
Yes, that is true because that is true 100% because Arsenal for the most part lacks creativity
right, exactly,
when
and that's
Odegaard's
been the
not
whole
on
thing.
the pitch. Yeah.
Yep.
So from that perspective, yes, but overall, no. Saka's probably game after game probably the best player on that team.
Yeah.
Um, maybe you could talk about Partey, but again, injuries have sort of riddled his Arsenal career. Even though you know how I feel about him, I think this guy is just nuts. I think he's fantastic. But Saliba, and then you have the two left backs. Then you got Ben White playing right back is phenomenal. Like, bro, Gabriel Martinelli. Now,
Martinelli. Yeah.
now, now, Nketiah's coming in and scoring 2 goals in 2 games. You're really looking at this situation like okay, if this team stays healthy, if that 11 stays pretty solid, then yeah, I don't really see them losing too many games because the way they're playing, it's not like they're chipping away and hopefully, getting lucky win here. Look, these guys are dominating games, bro.
What
Dominating
I
games.
yeah, what I like about it is just they're just doing the work.
Yeah,
It's just work for them, and then they going home. You know, I hate personally teams, especially young teams. You see it a lot in the NBA, for example, Memphis Grizzlies, who haven't done anything but feel the need to speak and go crazy. What have you done for me? Nothing,
yeah,
right? They talk crazy to Golden State all the time, and then Golden State always humbles them. I have not seen Arsenal do that at all this year.
yeah. It's
They're,
been
they're, they're
yeah,
quiet assassins, quiet killers, bro. I'm gonna do my job, get it done, and then you gonna respect me in the end. Simple.
and and honestly, I think that experience last season probably did help them in a lot of ways in the long run in terms of like, okay, we know what position we were in, we know we fumbled the bag. They're not gonna. I don't think they're gonna make that same mistake again. If if we start winning games, if Man City start winning games consistently, I think that might put some pressure on Arsenal. But again, this Arsenal, it is a two-horse race, right? Like Newcastle, Man U, Tottenham, like these teams are just not. It's a two-horse race at this point. Um,
Man, quick touch on Newcastle. I forgot who said it. Saw it online. All time great though. It'll come to me soon. But basically said if Newcastle, when they get in the Champions League, if they get a top four berth, they're not coming down. They're going to be up there for years, and I can truly see that. They just have the money. It's not much like they're this great club with a crazy system. They just have the money, and
yeah,
they're getting their pieces. They're building a team. Something special.
no, 100% right. I mean, the reason why we thought that this build wasn't gonna, it was gonna take time, is because they're, like you said, they're not in the Champions League. How many great players are gonna come and play for that club?
Yeah,
Um, But now, if they do make it to top four, which again, I'm still not certain if they will, but if they do, you can expect this summer to be crazy for Newcastle. And I mean
yeah.
crazy.
Think it's gonna be dumb.
Well, they don't really need a striker anymore. They have three options. So if
Yeah,
you're looking at wingers, you're looking at an elite midfielder, you're looking at an elite center back. Like they can start bringing in elite players, bro. They have a real opportunity this season to, yeah, like you said, like secure that top four spot and just really never look back. And if we're looking at teams like Liverpool, Man U, even though it seems like they're on the rise, Chelsea, who were just struggling, Tottenham, who were just struggling. You look at those teams, bro. This top four, this top six, it's not guaranteed anymore, bro. When you see Brighton, you see Fulham, you know, this top four is not guaranteed, bro.
I just want to say, may not be right about a lot of things, but some things do hit spot on. And I called this whole Chelsea and Tottenham thing. Told you early in the season I'm not worried about Chelsea whatsoever.
Me neither. Yep.
Same with Tottenham. They're the LA Clippers of football.
Yeah,
They're
they low
good,
key.
and then they just don't pan out.
Yeah.
And Conti, we'll get to him. It's not what he's saying to the media. There's no confidence. It's shot. Not worried about them. But then you brought up us, Man United. We won again on a roll. We have the top four spot in sole possession right now.
Yeah.
It's looking good. We're right on Newcastle's heels, basically about to get number three if we, do what we got to do. And then, huge part of this past game was the benching of Rashford. Came out in reports that he, I guess, missed some a text or call from Ten Hag or missed a meeting.
Yeah. Meeting. Yep.
Just being late, that type of thing. But then he comes off the bench and scores the game-winning goal. My question to you, and I know you probably got some questions for me too, but my question to you is Ten Hag, justifying his actions? What he did to Cristiano, now Rashford. Is it
I've been
adding up?
I've been saying
Is
this
it?
since the start, bro. I've been saying this since the start when it came to this man. That's exactly what he's doing. He's justifying his actions.
Yeah,
When people were screaming about Casemiro not starting when he first came in, I was like, okay, well, the reason is McTominay's playing well at the moment. Once
Mm-hmm.
McTominay starts dropping off and Casemiro comes in, you can say, okay, it's a justified decision. That's what he's doing, and he's a specialist at it at this point. Halfway
Man,
through the season, he's
man.
justifying every single decision, bro. You know, even the Sancho thing that we thought at the start of the season who's playing well. Clearly, Sancho's not doing what Ten Hag wants. He brings him out. He starts playing Garnacho. Garnacho starts balling. Like there's just a bunch of decisions that he's making. Another one, which at the start of the season, Maguire starts. Everyone's like, man, Maguire's starting after a terrible season last season. Varane, Martinez, like, why aren't they starting? After a few games, those two start, and they're never looking back. Like Harry Maguire cannot be mad, and this is what's so great about Ten Hag. Ronaldo can't be mad. Maguire can't be mad. McTominay can't be mad. These players like Rashford, when he gets benched for 45 minutes, he can't be mad. And this is what's so smart about him. So people were starting to respect him. I think there was a lot of just like English media bias at the start with like, oh, who's this Ten Hag guy? But you just gotta give this guy time. He's doing a fantastic job, bro. Even if you guys don't finish in the top four, he's done a fantastic job. You remember last season was your worst season in Premier League history. So the fact you guys are even sniffing top four is incredible. Yeah, if it continues like this, bro, as great as Arteta's been this season, I would say Ten Hag's been manager of the year if it continues as such. Because again, he's taken a nothing team, a toxic team, an overpaid team to to respectable heights. So I'm a big fan of him, bro. Big fan.
And Ten Hag, we trust. That
You
is
weren't like
my
that. You weren't like that all season, though, Jay.
hey,
You were not.
hey, 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 hey. I've accepted Ten Hag, because my biggest thing with him, he has an identity,
Yeah,
and he's gonna bring that to whatever club he's at. So with Man United, for example, I think we all know the manager doesn't really have all the power. The board controls a lot. There's only so much a manager can do.
yeah,
So I've seen the greats, Marino, Van Gaal. They all come to United expecting some type of change, trying to bring their imprint and put it on the club, and it's never panned out.
yeah.
Ten Hag is the lone exception.
Well,
We're,
not
we're,
yet,
we're-
Jay.
no,
Not.
so check it. We're seeing like he's not getting everything he wants. Like there's players that he wanted that the board have said no to, right? Uh, Gakpo, a most recent one. Um,
De Jong, obviously, yeah. Even
Dion,
though
right?
that was a little 50-50,
Right?
but yeah, yeah,
Right? And then you have, Harry Maguire being our captain for a large part of the season and then starting games. Um, all these crazy moves, Fred and McTominay in our starting midfield, right? And what, we're the fourth in the
yeah.
Premier League, right? We have the third most wins behind City and Arsenal, more than Newcastle. They just have more draws than us. We're in contention for the FA Cup, um, English League Cup, and Carabao Cup, correct? Or am I wrong?
English League Cup, which is Carabao Cup, and then
Carabao Cup.
Europa League as well.
Yeah, there you go. My bad. Europa League.
Yeah,
He had a back and forth with probably the second, or one of the two biggest world footballers ever in Ronaldo,
yeah,
and basically won it. Shipped him out. The Golden Boy, who England loves, just got benched and still won the game. Bro, Ten Hag is killing it. He's
yeah,
saying, despite all the power you may have, me being Dutch, being in England, I'm gonna still do what I gotta do, and make people believe in the mission. I feel like the players even believing in it. Rashford took that discipline and was like, okay, I messed up. I'm gonna score a goal. Now you get the praise.
yeah.
See how that works out? Like we
You
all
know,
win.
you're making good points. I think while Manchester United's managers haven't been backed fully, even if the money is being thrown around it, they haven't been backed fully in terms of their vision. Like you said, Ten Hag's probably doing the best at working with what he has, right? Working with
Yes,
what he's getting. Um,
yes. In a shorter sense,
yeah,
exactly.
man, you clearly know what he wants, but he's not complaining about what he has.
No,
Um, and again, you got to respect it. I really, really like him as a manager, bro. I really, really do. Um, and uh, obviously for just entertainment purposes, it is always good to see a team like Man U be in top four and be in contention and all of that stuff. And I think Ten Hag's the man to get you there, bro. Whether it's this season or next season,
Yeah,
I see you guys getting there for sure.
yeah. I mean, we definitely got our man, but West Ham and Tottenham and Conte and Moyes, I
Yeah,
don't think they got their man, bro. And I told you about West Ham a long time ago. Not convinced
really?
with them. Yes,
Not
you've always
convinced.
you've always said they're gonna
They could,
turn it around. They're gonna turn it around because David
yeah,
Moyes is a great manager. Like, nah, bro, it's old. He's outdated right now.
yeah.
Great manager he is. We seen what he can do, but it's no steady progression with them. It's like they always just reach the ceiling and then that's it.
Yeah, you know what's
And you're
weird, but
hopeful.
and this is the issue with Moyes, and this is why I think maybe he is gone soon. He got backed in the summer, bro.
Yeah, yeah,
Skamaka, Paqueta, these are
yeah.
two
And
good
that's
players.
crazy. Those two, and you're struggling
They
as
get,
much as you do.
they got significantly worse. I mean, I don't know. Also, Cornet, even though he's been injured, bro, that's
Yeah,
like 100 million. That's 100 million pounds right there, bro.
crazy,
So
unacceptable.
Emerson from Chelsea, there's just a bunch like they got
But
players.
but does he deserve sacking more than Conti?
Well, listen, I when it comes to Tottenham, I will never, ever, ever, ever talk about sacking a manager until they do something about Daniel Levy
I
and
know
or
you're
the
gonna say
board.
it. I knew you're gonna say it.
No,
Everyone's
no,
been
no.
saying it.
Here's why.
It's Levy.
Bro. Listen, I don't have an agenda against this guy. Listen, again, I will bring this up time and time again. When you sack your manager a week before your final, you don't deserve any leeway and like, bro, that he should have been put in jail for that move. So anytime we're talking about like, oh, a Tottenham manager, this Tottenham, no, 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 no. If Tottenham's struggling, sure. Listen, do I think Conte's system sucks? Yes. Is it the worst football to watch in the Premier League? Absolutely. Did I intentionally not watch the game today, or was it yes? Whenever it was, I I make sure not to watch television when Tottenham were playing, just in case I actually see 10 seconds of it. It's the worst. He's playing three center backs. They all suck. They're all slow, bro. I hate everything about Tottenham, but I will still say if you're going to get rid of someone, if you're going to try and make this work,
Yeah,
it's front office, it's GM, it's board, it's recruitment versus or before the manager. That's what I'll say.
I think it's solid.
And if again, and here's the thing: if you look at West Ham's situation, again, they got all the Tottenham got a lot of players right in the summer,
Yeah,
but so do West Ham. So at this point, I just think there needs to be a refresher at West Ham. What I will say, however, if we're comparing to those situations, both of the best players on those teams, so Declan Rice for West Ham, Harry
yeah,
Kane for Tottenham,
yeah.
both of those players want to leave. Both of those teams are holding them hostage, out outpricing them. You know,
But
Harry Kane 127 million, Declan Rice 120, 150 million. These players, again, the best players on the team, the leaders of your team, the captains of your team, are not happy. So I highly, highly doubt that they're optimizing their talent.
yeah, you brought up Declan Rice. I I do think he's quality, but also just don't know if he's another overhyped English product.
He is an overhyped team. Listen, he's good. Listen,
Like right,
he's
he is
good,
good. Like he has quality. I'm not about to sit here and deny that. Like I do
and
see
he's
it,
young.
but
He's super young too. Super young.
that's what it is. But I don't think he's worth that much money. And I mean, he wants to leave too. I think he's kind of said it in the
Oh,
media.
he said it for like last 2 years. Like,
Yeah,
bro, they're putting him at like 100 million plus. So like
and
he
then
can't leave.
right, I guess his the best thing he can do is perform terribly, in hopes that his price goes down, and they eventually ship him off. Because I think what he's doing is he's performing so well, and then they're just upping his price
Yeah, because they don't
constantly.
want him to go.
They
And
want him to go.
this is what the GM thing. These guys, man. I mean, listen, it's a difficult position, sure, but like when you have 120 million on the table for Harry Kane, you take it, bro. When you have 100 million on the table for Declan Rice, you take it. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? But these guys are so scared of like, oh, well, my best player is going to leave. you guys aren't winning anything anyway. You know, take
Like,
the
why does it
money.
matter?
It's what I'm saying. Take the money, reinvest.
Yeah.
Like, these guys, man, it's just, I don't know. It's frustrating. But yeah, overall, who I think is going to get fired first? I think Conte's got the rest of the season. I think Moyes is gone in, but I say by March for sure.
Okay.
Probably gone by
Oh,
March.
okay.
Yeah. How about you? What do
Yeah.
you think?
I would say I mean, right now West Ham's they're battling relegation. I think they're right there at the bottom,
Bro, they're in
right?
17th. Bro, they're tied. Yeah, they're tied with 18th with
Yeah.
Nottingham Forest. Yeah, it's
So if they get relegated, or they're still
five.
battling,
bro, bro, 5 losses in a row.
yeah,
Oh
bro,
my god.
they're gone, right? They are gone. I do think
Yeah.
that. But if they somehow find a way to maybe get 12th, 11 to 12 in the table, right? And Tottenham doesn't make top 4, nor do they make a Europa League. They get like a 7th or 8th. I think Conti's gone. I
In
think
that
more.
situation,
Yeah,
100%,
yeah,
100%. You know what's so weird about this table right now, though? You can be 17th one week and ninth the next week.
yeah.
So, that's why I'm not too worried about West Ham, like in terms of points. But, when the owners and the investors and the fans are looking at that table and they see West Ham in 17th, they're going to be, you know, they're going to be panicking. But honestly, and this is what's so crazy, if West Ham get one win, they're up to 13th. So it's like, you know, this is
It's
this is the
crazy.
league we're in right now.
Yes, sir.
Leicester, who we were talking about Brendan Rodgers for how long? Now they're in 13th. So it's a roller coaster right now.
All right. So new year, transfer market, I believe, starts officially. We
Yep.
get going. Um, and we got our wish list. Players that we think we may need or you want. I'll go first. Speaking for United, missing out on Gakpo hurt us a lot. We needed another striker or forward, somebody that can create, and a big body too. That's something I'm looking for because that's just the way the game is leaning towards. We got to compete with the Man Cities, who Holland, right? So I'm gonna go to Juventus. You know, they got this boy over there at striker, young boy too, Dusan Vlahovic. Um, just long, 6'3", uh, very very creative. Can score goals. Good with his feet. I think that's just something we need. Um, or if we don't get him, I know that's just me wishing right now, but I want a big body, like I said, right? But I also do take pride in the fact that Man U is built on like brotherhood and partnership. So you see a lot of Portuguese, a lot of Brazilians, right? So I'm gonna stay in the Portuguese realm. We wanted this kid for a long time. Why not João Felix? Uh,
Yeah.
I told you I think his time has passed, but he still is young, and I think if you put him in that system with other people that speak Portuguese, Brazilians included, bro, it would be a recipe for success. So yeah, those are my two.
Jay, you should like create a little PowerPoint, go to Man U headquarters, present that.
Yeah,
Jay,
yeah,
I think you're getting your
sir.
man. Honestly, the whole is it Vlahovic?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Last January, Arsenal really, really wanted him. Didn't happen.
yeah.
Um, it now seems that there are some issues at Juventus. They're not performing like they would. Um, this guy seems like he might be going somewhere in the next 6 to 18 months. So I think that's a good pickup. To be honest with you, I think what you guys need more than anything is a like a starting number 9. Like obviously,
Right,
in a perfect
right.
world, you want Martial to be that guy, but you can't rely on him to be the guy, whether it's injuries or inconsistency. So
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean, we need a Lukaku again.
yeah.
Obviously better, on ball and
But,
everything.
but
But
what he gives you is like he's starting every week. Like
yes,
yeah,
that
and
type of deal.
he's going to get you a goal here or there, 100%. I think Rashford in a lot of ways is carrying you guys at the moment in terms of goals. So yeah, I think a striker for sure. I would love to see João Felix because all I've really when I hear João Felix, I just hear overhyped. I just like I was hearing this guy's the next Neymar, the next Ronaldo. So my perception of him is already tainted, right? And then I see him in the Champions League, and he's doing some good stuff and some not so good stuff. I don't really know what to expect. But if he came to Man U, it might be exciting, you know. So I'd probably love to see Jao Felix go to you guys. Obviously, I want you guys still to suck, but the reality is it's going to still be entertaining. Um, in terms of Man City, bro, I don't think we need anything. You know, this is probably the best roster, the best squad in the world. To be honest with you, if you look at like, is Bayern better? Is PSG better? You know, Madrid. Like, we're in that top five for sure. We're probably closer to one. So I don't think we need anything. So what I actually want to think about is a really, really good transfer that I think is actually going to happen potentially in January, definitely in the summer, is Harry Maguire to Tottenham, bro. It just makes all the sense in the world. It makes all, obviously you'd be happy with it, but it makes all the sense in the world, bro. The guy is a fourth choice center back at Man U. Tottenham have played three center backs, which is his preferred formation. Maguire's got a bunch of English friends over there. He's still in that, big six sort of
That's
team.
you're making some good
And,
points here. That's
and,
actually a really good fit for him.
and on top of that, he has no competition. They all suck. All the center backs suck, bro.
And yes,
Romero, Dyer, and then you're like, who? Sanchez? No. Longley? No. Ben Davies? No. All
dude,
these guys are terrible.
you should be like Harry Maguire's like personal PR or something because I just
I
like
got
the
him,
way
bro.
that you're setting this up, bro. It makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Tottenham, like I said, LA Clippers, they are known for choking. They have no expectations of getting a title every year or
Yeah.
being top two. You know, that's good for Harry Maguire. It's a step down. It's 5 steps down. Now it's 10 steps down from Man United. That's
You,
good for him.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's a little better than Leicester, but not as good as Man U.
I mean,
He's
hundred
right
percent,
there.
bro.
He's good.
No, and this is you're making a great point, bro. When you step down in terms of the spotlight or in terms of expectation, that weight is lifted off your shoulders, especially if you're the type of person to not deal with pressure well, bro. Eric Dyer can be like the worst center back in the league, but no one's going to care because he's playing at Tottenham. But Maguire makes one mistake at Man U, and he's now
It's
seen as
blown
the
up.
worst. Exactly. So I think, yeah, I think that's got to happen, bro. I think that's got to happen in January, if not January this summer for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't have any for myself. I mean, how greedy would it be? Or like, I think we need this player. No, we don't. No, we don't. We don't need anybody.
Yeah. You you know who I wish we could get?
What was that?
Cristiano.
Which one? Not Ronaldo.
You called it, bro.
Yeah,
I do want to speak on it. I did not believe it that he would be going to Saudi Arabia, but he is.
he
We
didn't believe it either, Jay. You know that, right? He did not believe it either.
Is this really the end? Like this is how we're gonna do this? Go out and
It, yeah, overall, it's been a terrible last year for him, right? I mean, obviously the personal matters, right? Can't score to save his life. Does the interview, walks off in the Tottenham game. Just really, really bad end to his career, bro. And it is sad in a lot of ways. At the same time, he's always been that sort of self-centered individual, for good or bad. It just, it is what it is. Um, and I think there's a lot of pros to that, and I think there's a lot of cons to that. And we're seeing a lot of those cons play out, bro. And listen, do I think like a team like Napoli probably gave him an offer? Yeah, but the offer would have been, hey, you're going to play on the bench behind Osman. We might play you every now and then, and he probably wasn't taking that, bro. Chelsea probably came to him and said, hey, we're going to play you every now and then. He probably wasn't taking that. So like, there's a lot of teams that probably gave him offers that he just wasn't going to take. So he said, you know what? If my time really is done, let it be done. I got bro. My backdoor option is 100 to 200 million a year. I think
that's
he's okay.
that's crazy. I mean, yeah, as a Man U fan, makes sense. He's gone. We better out him doesn't fit the system. We got it right.
Yeah, it's been shoved down our throats for years now. So yeah, we
Exactly,
get
right?
it.
But as a Ronaldo fan, sucks because I want him to compete, you know, at the highest level. So to see him not get a World Cup and go out early, that hurt because I don't know if he's going to be back with the national team the way they did him. It's not looking
Yeah,
good.
good point.
They weren't vibing with him at all. So I want to see him maybe do that with a club level team, and that would be the Champions League, right? He's not doing that in Saudi Arabia.
I mean, of course not, right? I mean, he's going to go there. He's going to put on the smile. He's going to bang in goals. He's going to live in a palace. Like he's going to. Let's not feel too bad for him here because he's probably had options to go to Champions League teams. He just didn't want to take him for whatever reason.
But see,
Again,
I
let's not feel too
guess,
bad for him.
yeah, I guess it just makes me question not his passion for the game, because like that's Cristiano, and I would never do that. But I'm just thinking if he's built like a Kobe, these are people I look up to in the sporting world, right? I know Kobe would only play longer if he just felt like it was a need for him to compete on a certain
Yes,
level against the best, against the
absolutely,
best.
absolutely, and that's why Kobe retired earlier than he could have. That's
Good
why.
point. Good point. Good
So,
point.
and here's the thing: Kobe Bryant probably, sure, he could have kept playing, but he wouldn't have had no $200 million a year offer.
Hell
So,
nah. Hell nah.
again, this is why I think when we talk about Ronaldo's career, it is officially done in terms of the elite professional that he was. I think again, what he's doing right now is damn near charity work. Obviously he's getting paid for it, but like it's we shouldn't look at it as like man, Ronaldo his goal tally is now 1,000 or whatever. It's like we
Yeah.
those stats were padded. You know, so
Yeah. So this is weird because I think this is like this is the pre-retirement. He hasn't
yes,
officially retired yet, but he's
yeah,
retired. So it hasn't really hit me yet. You know, I think the day he signs those papers, whole press conference, cameras flashing, he's crying. That's when it's gonna hit me that my goat is leaving the sport. But right now,
yeah,
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 he's basically gone. I won't be seeing him competing against Messi and those boys out there. Like it's done.
yeah.
So it hurts.
What,
Like I'm not watching any of those games. I'm
Jay,
sorry. I
Jay,
don't care about those hat tricks.
what channel what channel is the game on? Jay, there's a
I don't
this.
even know,
Yeah, Jay,
bro.
is it on Sling, bro?
I gotta go to crack streams just to find soccerstreams.reddit just to find that shit, man. Come on, he
Damn,
out of pocket for that, bro. But
that's
that's my
crazy.
that's my goat. That's my boy. That's my boy.
That's
Yeah.
crazy, bro. Well,
Oh man.
on that note, we're gonna wrap up this podcast. We're gonna start researching where we can find Ronaldo's games going forward. Uh, but in the meantime, you can follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, where you can see everybody yelling at me because I didn't know the
Yo,
official
they've been eating my boy up, man.
going
Said
crazy.
he under 21. Get it right. We got
I
you, bro.
mean,
We heard y'all. We heard y'all,
it's not my fault. I got stuff to do. I see one Instagram post. I get fooled. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Um,
man. See, I got a
no, but
life.
this
You're
is a
not
crazy way to
wrong.
end this podcast. But again, you can follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at the Best of Rivals, and you can listen and or watch this podcast on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcast at the Best of Rivals podcast. For myself, Jay, episode 50 in the bag. We are out.